Welcome to another edition of Our City. On Wednesday, May 24th at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to speak on a panel. It's presented by the Historical Society of Elizabeth and Future City Incorporated. I'm going to be sharing an overview of Elizabeth in 1917. And no, I was not here in 1917. It's based on the research that my staff has done. For more information, please call 908-581-7555. Following that event around noon, I'm going to join members of the Elizabeth Rotary Club. Their annual scholarship luncheon is held at the Garden Restaurant located at 943 McGee Avenue in Union. For more information, please call 908-352-0670. And I would like to make sure that you know the Elizabeth Rotary Club has been creating scholarships for young people for years, and we thank them for doing that. I'd also like to remind you that on Monday, May 29th, City Hall will be closed in observance of Memorial Day, and there will be a Memorial Day celebration at 11 o'clock in the morning in front of City Hall at the World War II Monument. In addition, on Monday at 10:30, members of the Elizabeth Firemen's Association that morning will hold the annual memorial service for deceased firemen. The service will honor all firemen who have lost their lives in the line of duty. This ceremony at 10:30, it takes place at the Union County Courthouse on Broad Street in Elizabeth. And as I said earlier, the ceremony for the veterans will follow at 11 o'clock that morning. If you need more information, please call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. Please stay with us after these messages, where we're going to be talking about the Union County Fatherhood Initiative here in the city of Elizabeth, started by Mr. Rod Spearman, who is chairman of the event, and Mr. Bill Jones, the executive director of the Elizabeth Housing Authority.
Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kane University.
Welcome back to Our City, where I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Rod Spearman and Mr. Bill Jones. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, man.
Good to see you again
on the set. Yeah.
So the Fatherhood Initiative, Rod, you started this a couple of years ago, right?
It started 5 years ago because of a challenge that Kim Nesbitt Good of Nesbitt Funeral Home challenged a group of about 23 men from around Union County to get them involved with fathers in and around Union County. So that was, and following that, they asked me to stay on and become the chairperson. So I've been the chairperson for the last 5 years.
Now, you're a father.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, but your children are a little bit older, right?
Yeah, a little bit older. I got a 28-year-older.
Yeah, so your experiences actually now are a little different, but you've been through the experiences of a young child, and how do you relate to this conference?
Well, I've been a father, and for 28 years, and still sometimes a father in young people in and around the community neighborhood. So it's easy for me to relate to this conference. It's designed around us fathers that still have a lot of challenges, just being fathers, and how do we relate to not only our children but to our wives and the community and other men. So I'm still actively involved. I still know how it is to be a father.
And Bill, you're also a father too, right?
I'm a dad. I got 2 girls. Raised them. Spent a lot of time with it. For a good portion of the youngest daughter, I was a single parent. I enjoy being a father. Yeah, I watched she was your girl. It seemed like she was born yesterday.
And she's going to be 17.
Yeah, and now we're talking
This
about
week.
college. So and we in public housing. It's unfortunate. I wish we would have more fathers involved in the family sites, and this is basically what Rod's program is about, and that's why the Housing Authority got on board. We want the fathers to come in. We don't care where they've been, what their station is in life, just to have them come in and spend time with their kids, and that's one of the major thrusts of the initiative that Rod has put together.
And Rod, are you reaching fathers that Bill just spoke about?
It's a mixture of those fathers we reach. We're looking for all fathers, whether in the housing authority, the community city, whether they're ex-offenders or not. It is a constant challenge because as fathers and men, we want to be independent and say we don't have a lot of issues and problems at times. But if you're committed and you constantly talk with them, and once you get them in the door, they begin opening up and share their concerns and problems and the importance of being a father. So it's a constant, ongoing challenge, but we're reaching some.
And Rod, you don't do this alone. So who are some of the members of the Fatherhood Initiative?
Well, we have William Stevens, who's a retired owner of his own heating and air conditioning unit. Ron Richardson, who works for ERA Realties. Kevin Caldwell, who has Kia Institute. He's out of Plainfield. Bill Jones is one of our members. Ed Hughes is another member out of Roselle. And I'm missing Alex Ely, who is a Haitian brother that was a part of Jefferson Park Ministries. He's engaged, and Ron Thomas, who is for Second Street Youth Center in Plainfield. Those are the core members, but our original group is still all those men, the 23, 25 men that were challenged a while back. And Stanley Negron is a part of us now. The mayor of Linden has also been a part of us, and so there's a group of folks that are part of, but the core group are those who I mentioned. You know,
you gave Kim Nesbitt Good the credit for challenging. Was it you or was it a group of guys she challenged?
It was a group of us. She brought together 23, 25 men, and she just challenged us all. She was in a funeral home, so I guess we all got scared if we didn't do something.
Well, you're sitting in a funeral home. I was going to say, if that message don't hit you over the head.
Yeah. And following that, we recognized and honored about 40 fathers that first year, and then moving forward the next 3 years, we've been doing it at conferences, workshops, all day, recognizing and honoring fathers.
And Bill, the Elizabeth Housing Authority, you talked about getting more fathers involved in programs, especially in public housing, but it also is beyond that. And how did the Housing Authority get involved?
Well, you know, it's really a national initiative from HUD and DC, and around the time Rod started, we got emails talking about do something for Father's Day, have an event, chronicle what you're doing, and let us know. So it dovetailed perfectly. You know, and so we had a great opportunity with the local initiative going on, and so we have our initiative, we have our event, and then we report back to HUD, you know, and we've had some good people come out. We had a gentleman, Tabiti Boone, who was President Obama's late liaison for fatherhood. We had a very prominent disco singer. I think Rod brought her.
Gloria Gaynor.
Gloria Gaynor. You know, we've had a lot of good sponsors, politicians. Trinitas Hospital has always been there in support. United Way, Union County College. So it's like a community event, and we focused a couple of years on tying the western part and the eastern part of the counties together. To really get something going. But we want to get the dads to show up. You know. And just support their kids. Just be there, you know.
And is that the only goal of fatherhood? Is there job training or resume build? Is there anything else in the goal of the Fatherhood Initiative?
We aren't doing job training. What we are doing is education, and we provide resources for fathers, workshops to help them to become engaged, learn how to communicate with their spouses or their children's mother. Opportunities for them to deal with mental health issues. Once again, communication issues. Financial planning, anything that fathers need to know how to connect them to be better fathers, better protectors, better guardians, and also let them be aware that how early they need to get engaged with their children's lives and education, even sports, but not just sports, but also the girls as well as boys and health issues. We've had Trinitas Hospital come in and talk to the fathers about importance of them staying healthy, being healthy, getting checkups and things they need to do. Like I said, we also had a financial advisor talking about long-range retirement, money issues, communications, how to relate. So there's been a host of things. So what our goal is to try to provide resources, information, and training to all fathers, and not just so we're just focused on mentoring and those kind of issues. We also have another program that fathers can send their young kids into. It's called the 3 R's, that you are resilience, responsibility, and respect. And out of that, young men and young fathers and teenagers can learn the values of those 3 R's that can help them participate in society and in their community.
So is all this done on the same day, or is this done throughout the year?
This is what we're moving to do. Most of this now, we're moving to do this project throughout the year. The core ideal has been to do a one-day conference, but we're moving forward now to do more and more of these workshops and training throughout Elizabeth and Union County, all during the year. And we're also focusing on a new project that we want to identify 6 fathers and work with them for 12 weeks individually and collectively once a week on their personal issues and personal needs, whether it's education, employment, whether it's family life skills, and all. So that is our goal as a Union County Fatherhood. And it's all and for the county, but we're focusing particularly now in Elizabeth, and then we're hoping to move out in other parts of the county again, this new project.
So Bill, talk to us about the breakfast on June 10th and the conference in Elizabeth Housing Authority.
So, so we're very excited about it. The Housing Authority is one of the supporters, but more importantly, and it's going to be at Community Access, and they got a new building. And Sid is always, he was one of our honorees one time. So he always does a great job. But we'll have a morning breakfast. In the past, we had like an all-day event, but as Mr. Spearman indicated, we're going to focus having a breakfast, still letting the community know what we're doing, but we want to have some long-range programs that impact for an identified group of fathers. That's going to kind of be announced coming out of this breakfast in June.
Is there a cost to the breakfast, and who's invited?
No, there's no cost. We were fortunate. Our goal for the last 4 years was to make this a free event for all men, and we've been fortunate where our sponsors have been able to make this happen, so there's no cost. So we wanted to make sure that any man that wanted to come can come. Spencer Savings Bank, the City of Elizabeth, the County of Union, Trinitas Hospital, YMCA, Community Access, and a host of other supporters have made this viable, that it's a totally free event for any man that come to the door. And within the focus that we're speaking about, we've asked a special person to be one of our keynote speakers, and then they will also do a Q&A session. It just happens to be you, Mayor.
And I accept it.
You accept it. And Freehold Donyale will also be one of the speakers, and we're going to do a Q&A session about what it means on the theme, Fathers Make a Difference. And so it's totally free. And we invite everyone to bring the fathers, to bring young men and boys or girls, and just fathers come and participate. And
the Fatherhood Initiative, you mentioned some of their supporters. You didn't leave anything out, did you? The supporters and the vendors?
Union County College.
Union County College
is always there. The city, the county's always good. United Way. United Way is a big participant in.
So Ella Teal's leaving the United Way after all these years.
Well,
she's leaving the Urban League.
Oh, she's leaving the Urban League.
The Urban League.
United Way is James.
Jim Horn. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jim, if you're listening. I apologize for that.
Is Ella leaving? They had a retirement.
Yeah,
party.
Ella's leaving.
They had a retirement party.
Yeah, that's right. I mixed up the Urban League and the United. I shouldn't do that. So if someone wants to contact you or who, if they're interested in going, what do they do?
Well, we and I've got to put my glasses on because I can't read it myself, but we have a website that they can go to ucfatherhood.eventbrite, and they could also go to unioncountynjfatherhood.com, and then they could also contact me directly, Rod Spearman, at 908-377-0143 for additional information. If they want to be a part of it, but they can go direct to Eventbrite and register. And we'll be flooding the community with flyers and information and emails and texting to get people there. Our goal is to have at least hopefully 150 men. We've averaged over 125 men each time we've done an event.
Good. I look forward to seeing you on that day.
Okay.
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedules to join me on the show for this evening.
All right, well, thanks for having us.
And thank you for accepting our invitation.
All right. Should be good.
For Mr. Bill Jones and Mr. Rod Spearman, please stay with us after these messages. There'll be more on Our City.
We're an American original, dependable, historic, nuanced, with all the comforts of home, even when you're just visiting. So we're celebrating for all that we've left untouched and all that we've changed. A place where the past meets the future. So consider this your invitation.
We've been celebrating here in Elizabeth for 350 years, and we're just getting started. Welcome back to Our City. For the second half of this evening's show, I'm pleased to be joined by Monique Donyale Singleton, who is an author of a recent book that we're going to spend some time talking about it. Monique, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you
So
for having
first
me.
question, always, Monique, especially for the new guests, is tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Monique Donyale Singleton. As you said, I was born and raised in Elizabeth. I attended the Elizabeth Public School System, graduated in '87 from Elizabeth High School. I have a daughter named Champagne. She's now attending New York Film Academy in LA for pursuing her acting career. I then went to Hampton University in Virginia for business, but then I realized I really wanted to be in the beauty industry. So I came back to New Jersey, attended Wilford Academy in Newark, and after that, my present career, I'm the CEO of Monique Donyale Dominican Salon in Willingboro, New Jersey. I also launched my Monique Donyale collection, which is my skincare, makeup, and hair extension line. And now I'm the author of this book through my Monique Donyale Publishing, Forgotten Pieces, a life skills guide for teens and young adults.
So, Monique, that's a lot.
Yes, yes.
Are you living in the Willingboro area now?
Yes, I do live down in the Willingboro area.
Now, we met a couple of weeks ago
Yes.
at an event, and
Yes.
you told me about the book you were writing, which we're going to get into that in a minute. But first, what inspired you to write a book with your background? Obviously, writing a book wasn't something you thought about. You're a businesswoman, you're
Right.
raising a daughter, and
Right.
now you write a book.
Right. Well, my daughter and her friends is really what inspired me. My daughter Champagne, she was about 10th grade when I first thought about writing a book. Her and her friends would always come over to the house and they would watch TV and play games and things like that. But they were always nervous about life after high school. What are we going to do? They called me Mommy Mo. Mommy Mo, what are we going to do? You know, after we get out of high school, we don't know to do this or do that. So as I gave them advice, I said maybe I should put it in a book.
Seriously?
Yes.
Did you take notes and write it down or keep track of it, or did it all come back to you?
Well, raising a daughter on your own, being a single mom, it kind of just all come back to you from your life experiences with your child and with other people's child. So it just kind of came natural to me.
And you just jotted it down.
Yes.
So, if you're going to convey one message to the readers, what would the most important message be?
You have to have a plan in life. You cannot just go through life winging it and thinking that everything is going to happen the way you want it to happen. If you don't have a plan, you're going to plan to fail. Goal set, use time management, talk to inspirational people that's in your life, your mom, your dad, your pastor, different people in positions like yourself, a mayor, a lawyer, anyone that you know that's influential, talk to them and get advice from them.
So, Monique, your daughter, has she listened?
Yes, so
Okay,
far,
good.
thank God she has. She get into, you know, regular little things like maybe not do her homework or don't be late for a class, but for the most part, I'm very proud of her.
Well, the reason I asked that question is, I mean, if you wrote a book based on your daughter's and her friends' experiences, I was hopefully that your daughter
She
was,
listened.
was the embodiment of the book.
Well, actually, she did listen, and a lot of her friends, most of all her friends that graduated from BCIT down in Willingboro, all of them are in college. They're all doing well. They're either in a 2-year or a 4-year program, so that made me really happy. And whenever they come home, they always come and visit me.
So, Monique, you had the inspiration when your daughter was in 10th grade, or it kind of grew out of that? Tell me about that process.
It kind of grew out of that. I always wanted to write. I didn't know what I wanted to write about. I didn't know when. But on my 3-year projection, every 3 years, I said, I'm going to write a book. Then 3 years would go by, and I didn't write the book. So finally, when she was in 10th grade, I said, I'm going to write a book. I started the book. Life got in the way. I had to put it down for a minute. About 6 months ago, I said, you know what? I'm going to finish writing this book, and I'm actually put it out. And here I am.
So how long did it take you? I mean, if you start in 10th grade,
right? It actually took me. I started writing my notes about 5 years ago. And then about 6 months ago, I really got serious with it. I started writing my notes. I started writing the whole manuscript. Then I hired a company to help me actually put the book out with consultants, because I thought writing a book would be a little bit easier than what it is. It's not really that easy. It's not that challenging where it can't be accomplished, but it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So with my consultants that helped me out a lot, I hired iUniverse. They helped me self-publish the book. They gave me consultants. They made sure it was copywritten, IBS numbers, all the legalities of the book. So I did have a lot of help with it, but the manuscript I wrote myself.
So is the book for sale in Amazon or something like that?
Yes.
How do you pick up the book?
Yes, they could go to my website, MoniqueDonyalePublishing.com, or I'm on Amazon, I'm on Barnes & Nobles. They could go to iUniverse.com, and I'm on like 33,000 other websites as well.
Now, we also did a book signing in the city of Elizabeth.
Yes, we're gonna do a book signing. Well, your office is actually working on another book signing, but my book launch was May 20th at Dolce Lounge in Elizabeth, where you, of course, attended that. And we're going to set up another signing in Elizabeth as well.
So your work schedule, and when you're writing, how do you balance that? Well, now that your daughter's in school,
Right.
That's a little easier, right? So,
Well,
but you still got a work schedule running two
yeah.
businesses, you told me.
Yes, it's a lot going on, but mainly what I do is at night. I concentrate better and focus. I noticed at night when everything's quiet, no one's calling you. You don't have to worry about the business calling you, something going wrong, or even your kids call you, even though her schedule, her hours are 3 hours different from mine. So at 12 o'clock, it's still, early for her in LA. So she may call me, but I have more peace at night. So I just do it at night, and in the daytime, I just continue on with my daily routine.
Monique, you talked about self-publishing a book. How do you do that? I mean, that's cumbersome. So how do you get that done?
Well, self-publishing a book is said like self-publishing, but like I said, I did have a big company behind me, iUniverse, where you pay them you get a package, you pay them a certain amount. They give you different consultants. They gave me one on my manuscript. Then my next phase was they had to proofread it. Then I had to go find pictures to use for inside the book, design my cover. I was like, oh, I have to do all these things? And then with the pictures inside, you can't just use any pictures. You have to use stock pictures. But what I did was my family always supports me. They came to my house. I set up a photo shoot, and we took the pictures with using my family instead of stock pictures.
You still have family here in Elizabeth?
Yes, some of our family live here. Some live in Roselle. Some migrated to Florida, North Carolina, but most of us were here in Elizabeth because my mother, sisters, and brothers all migrated from South Carolina to Elizabeth.
Okay. And you run two businesses. You got a daughter in school. You're writing books.
Right.
What are you doing there? Do you have free time? And if you do, what are you doing?
Well, in my free time, I like to work out at the gym. I like to spend time with my family because I am so busy. So with my daughter, I may fly to LA and visit her, come visit my mom, spend time with just my friends, and I really like to go to the beach. I like to sit down on the sand by the water and just totally relax.
That's it, huh?
That's it. Don't think about anything that's going on, that might go on, that could go wrong. Just don't even think about it.
So when you did this book, were you surprised by anything in creating the book? Was there something that surprised you?
I was just surprised that it was so challenging. Like, I don't know why I thought it would be just a little bit easier than it was. I just thought maybe I'd write my manuscript and I was going to be on my way, but no, it wasn't just that
No, it
simple.
wasn't. So when you were a child, you didn't think about writing books as growing up, did you?
No, I always just wanted to play in people's hair, braid people's hair. I used to live on Court Street, Court and 6 in Elizabeth. We lived on the corner house. So I would always braid everyone's hair and, just be the hairstylist on the block. So I thought that that's what I would just do. Or makeup, skincare. I just like playing in people's hair, making them beauty, making them feel good. But writing a book, no, I didn't really think I was going to write a book. No.
So what do you think makes a good story?
I think a good story evolves from you writing about things that you know about. Like, I wouldn't write about being a police officer or a fireman because I don't really know anything about that. But what I do know about is self-empowerment, helping people build their self-esteem, beauty, things like that. So when I write about life skills, of course. So when you write something, always try to pick a subject that you have some knowledge in.
So let's talk about this cover of the book. You said you had to design the cover of the book.
Right.
And you have a picture of you. I imagine that's your daughter.
Yes, that's
a
my
picture
daughter.
of you and your daughter in the background of the two people, and you call it Forgotten Pieces. Tell me, first of all, about the cover of the book.
Okay, the cover was designed. I didn't really know how I wanted the cover to look. What I did was send the designers at iUniverse the picture of my daughter, a picture of myself. I told them I don't know really how I wanted to look. That's why I tell people you do need someone to help you do this, because it's not as simple as you think it is. So I had different little ideas to throw around. They really didn't like any of the ideas I had. So what they did was they took her picture, my picture, put it together, and that's how we came up with that cover. Because I had a mirror in there and all kinds of things that probably didn't make sense.
Nor did it work for the professionals.
It didn't work. No, it didn't work.
So Forgotten Pieces, that's an interesting title of a book.
Okay.
How?
Well, I feel that life skills is something that a lot of people take for granted and they forget about. In my book, I talk about job versus a career. I talk about goal setting, time management. I talk about how to even go to a car dealer and purchase a car. You may think that's something simple, but a lot of people don't know the first questions to ask when they go to a car dealer. A lot of people, when they're trying to go out and get an apartment, they don't know about a lease. They don't know about their credit. They don't know it's 3 credit bureaus. They don't know about managing their money, how to open up a bank account. A lot of people really don't know that. And I learned that from my daughter's friends. I said, do you have a bank account? No. You're a senior. Do you know how to open up a bank account? No. So a lot of things that I wrote in the book is really common sense things, but a lot of people really don't know.
It's Forgotten Pieces.
It's Forgotten Pieces, correct.
It really is. So that's where it makes sense.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So the events that we talked about, marketing, the ideas, plan for your book, you're going to keep doing this too, right?
Yes, absolutely. We have a book tour that we're putting in place now. I have about 16 states to attend. A lot of cities, other mayors like yourself are also setting up book signings for me through kid organizations in the community. I'm going to go to, I think we have D.C., Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Alabama, Arizona, Tennessee, Texas, and California.
I don't think you left many states.
Right. Yeah, I think those are going to be the first 16 locations. And then all the cities, I'm trying to do a book signing there as well.
So before we close, what would you give a young author or someone who wants to write a tip?
I would tell them never give up. Even if someone said to you, oh, you can't write a book. What are you writing a book for? That doesn't make sense. You're doing this, you're doing that. Never give up. Always go after your dreams. Get people in your life that are positive, think big, and go hard.
Monique, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us on the show. I wish you well with the book. I hope it goes skyrocketing. And I don't know if you're going to do another one, but I wish you well in whatever you do.
I'll try to, and thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. All right.
I want to thank Monique Donyale Singleton and Elizabeth Author for joining us on the show this evening. And I also want to thank Mr. Bill Jones and Mr. Rod Spearman, who were on the first part of the show talking about the Union County Father Initiative. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.
Sometimes you learn by helping others learn. Kane University.